Hello, and welcome to episode 14 of Progress Diaries, where I'm working on breaking my current official record for multiblind. In this episode, I'm going to share some thoughts about my review system progression, as well as how I structured it to help my progress. I'm currently working on 43 cubes, but I have 3 different review systems just for 43 cubes. As I move on to 47 and 49 cubes, I have 7 more review systems that I intend to go through as I improve. Each of these review systems has a slightly different focus. One will focus more on long-term cubes, another on the pseudo-long-term, another will focus on a heavy medium-term, another will balance both pseudo-long-term and medium-term, and so forth. The idea is that as I progress through these review systems, I should be able to shift my focus between the many aspects of multiblind and improve on specific parts individually, as well as improving as a whole. Also, I should be able to measure the strengths and weaknesses of each one of these different review systems, and find which ones are best for accuracy and speed. It's quite likely that one might be best for speed while another is best for accuracy. Of course, when I say that the review system is best, what I mean is that it works best for me at my current ability. Each person has different review styles, so different review systems will work better or worse for each person. Additionally, as my ability to memorize increases, different review systems might become more or even less effective than they were before. As of now, I don't really have any review system structured to practice short-term cubes. For me personally, I think increasing short-term cubes seems to be a very good way to push the limits of cube sub-hour an extra bit further, which could be very good for getting new personal bests. But I feel like where I am right now in my practices, I'm not really looking for incredible results. I'm more focused on progress. I might work more on short-term cubes in the distant future, but for now I'm just going to focus on overall progress. Getting into the attempt in the background, it's the second review system progression that I built for 43 cubes. Differently from last episode where I had 6 short-term cubes, this review system takes out the short-term cubes and places them instead as part of the pseudo-long-term cubes, for a total of 18 pseudo-long-term cubes. In my next episode, I'll showcase the third review system I have for 43 cubes, where I remove 6 cubes from the pseudo-long-term and put them into the long-term cubes, for a total of 13 long-term cubes, as opposed to 24. These changes will end up pushing the total number of passes from 145 to 147, for the same number of cubes. To illustrate the effect that this has, assuming the 15.5 seconds per pass that I had on this attempt, the extra number of passes due to the review system changes would add up to over 3 extra minutes of memorization. Of course, it isn't that much of an effect, because the later passes usually tend to be faster than average, especially for me, because my first pass is generally much slower. But this still will add an extra memorization challenge to my attempts. On the other hand, these extra reviews make recall easier, helping me to practice on the execution side of my attempts. In the future episode of this series, as I begin to increase the number of cubes to 47 and beyond, you should be able to see all the review systems that I built for that, so hopefully I'll be able to go through those in the near future. Before we reach the end of this episode, I'll quickly go over the attempt in the background. This is my second time sub-houring 43 cubes with JS tracing. Unfortunately, the timer didn't work for this attempt, but the memorization was just over 39 minutes, and the last pass for the long and pseudo-long-term cubes was 13.3 seconds per cube, which is pretty good for me. The execution was probably the best part about this attempt for me at 25.2 seconds per cube, which is my best so far for full-hour attempts with JS tracing. The final result was 39 out of 43 cubes in 57 minutes and 11 seconds, which was a lot faster than I expected. For the next episode, I'll showcase my final review system for 43 cubes, hopefully also sub-hour. Thank you for watching.